Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. Folks, I put together a great video for you guys and gals today. You're going to want to stick through this. I found a very interesting article, and I want to dig deeper into this towards the end after we finish the article. Regardless, we're looking at metals focus, saying that the short squeeze won't last, and silver prices are to end the year lower. They're warning everyone that prices aren't going to keep rising. And even though everyone's buying up all this silver, it's not going to last. I mean, it's a very interesting thing to say as demand is booming through the roof. And as even they mentioned in this article that vaults are at multi-year lows, even saying that there's only like 313 million ounces left in the COMEX. So for them to say that this squeeze won't last, especially saying that prices are going to end the year lower, it's going to be a good video, to say the least. I really want to talk about some other stuff even deeper towards the end. So yes, I'm excited for this video. I hope you all are too. And make sure you like the video. Make sure you share it. Make sure you leave a comment what you think. Always does help the video grow. And definitely make sure you subscribe because I post daily videos. The link to this article will be in the description. This short squeeze won't last. Silver prices are to end the year lower, warns Metals Focus. And this was 2 days ago. This article was written Thursday, October 6th. So it's not like it's something, a couple weeks ago. This is recent news. I did also want to mention real quick before we jump into this video, I'm picking the winner of my 60,000 subscriber silver giveaway probably Wednesday or Thursday. So you only have a couple days left to enter. The link is in the description or the pinned comment. Now let's talk some silver. Although off of its highs and back below $21 an ounce, silver is seeing its best week since July, as it benefits from a short squeeze rally. However, one research firm said that despite the short-term rally, investment demand will continue to weigh on the precious metal through the rest of the year. And I don't see how they're saying that would weigh on the price, keeping it lower, because as demand rises, the price rises with it. There's a direct correlation there. I mean, go anywhere online. Most of their products, any site online, their products are sold out, or they have a very select few. You're not going to find new Eagles. It's going to say pre-sale or some pre-order as they're trying to get more in. Very long shipping delays. It's not something that's just going to poof, vanish, go away. Even though Wall Street Silver, that original squeeze early 2021, even though that's not in the limelight, they're still buying more than ever. And actually, Wall Street Silver is bigger than ever. Back then, they only had a couple thousand members. Now they have over 200,000. And then you have these big celebrities and these big billionaires buying silver. Everyone talking about buying silver openly now, tweeting about it. People that have massive multi-million subscriber fan bases all mentioning buy silver. I don't see how this is just gonna, vanish and just settle down. This short squeeze won't last. I mean, I don't know what planet they're living on to think that it's just gonna kind of fizzle out. I think it's only gonna get worse tenfold. In their latest report, analysts at Metals Focus said they expect silver prices to end the year lower as strong physical demand won't be enough to counter weak investor interest due to rising bond yields and a US dollar near 20-year highs. There we go. There we give some context. And that could be, I mean, honestly, if this was beginning to the middle of the year, I would say no. But since the end of the year, the holidays are already a bearish time for precious metals. Actually, every investment towards the end of the year really doesn't do much. I mean, crypto could be some cases. Regardless, though, the end of the year usually is bearish. And rightfully so. People are going on holidays, not paying attention to the markets, selling a lot of their Bitcoin or gold because they want to buy Christmas presents or, go on vacation. And it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I use Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals to my advantage. Stick around. I got you guys on some crazy deals then. But, regardless, it does make sense, especially when you do add in, the US dollar, the US dollar near 20-year highs. I mean, it could definitely keep silver down. And I actually do agree that even though demand is booming, that might not be enough. So they are bringing a good case. Regardless, for me, I do not care if silver stays lower. Actually, I want silver to stay lower ending the year because that means I can continue to lower my dollar per ounce average, especially since premiums are through the roof. If I'm not planning on selling in the next year, then why in the world would I want the price to go higher in the next year? That makes no sense. That means you're hoping, that means you're happy that you have to pay more money for your silver. Why in the world would you want the price to go higher ending the year if you aren't going to sell? You're okay. You want to spend more money per ounce? You want to? Why in the world would you want to do that? The only reason people like that is that means they need confirmation, that means they need validation that the price can go higher. But if you're a true silver stacker and understand the true value of silver, more importantly, understand the true value of a dollar, then you don't need confirmation that silver can go higher because you know it will. I mean, it's just something that doesn't make sense to me when, when people are like, oh, silver's going to end the year lower and they get bummed out or they get worried or something. It's like, you're thinking you're thinking from the time frame of like a squirrel or like a dog. It's very finicky, just instant. You can't see past your next thought. You got to step back and look at the much bigger picture. Despite the recent pullback in rate expectations and the impetus that provided precious metals, institutional investors still remain cautious about the outlook for the complex. The analysts wrote in their report. Now, in spite of the strength in underlying silver demand, this caution remains the biggest headwind for the silver price. Weak investment demand for silver comes despite strong global physical demand. The analysts, and actually that's a very good point. So let me read that again. And if you don't read closely, you might miss what they're actually saying. Weak investment demand for silver comes despite strong global physical demand. So I don't really see investment demand weak. I mean, as everyone's trying to get their, hands on a slice of the silver pie, there's not much pie left. But I mean, everyone's buying silver. Regardless, let's just say investment demand is weak. There's two parts to this. The physical demand globally does not mean investment demand. That's the industrial side of things. And as they even go on to say, like India, a lot of their stuff's used for religious purposes and jewelry. I mean, those are some of the biggest silver consumers. But regardless, the global demand is what's much more important than the investment sector. To put things in perspective, the global demand exceeded over 1 billion ounces this year, 1.112 billion ounces. But the U.S. Mint produces around 13 million ounces per year. 1 billion compared to 13 million, compared to one of the most popular mints. 13 million. That's a hair compared to 1 billion. So the industrial demand is much more impactful and important, more powerful than the investment sector. And that's why I tell a lot of people just look at the investment sector when they're looking at the silver shortage or something. It goes much deeper than just you and I wanting some coins. We're talking about solar panels, EVs, 5G towers, stuff that is much bigger than just what we want. We're talking about what the world needs. The analysts noted that India's physical silver market has been exponentially healthy this year as imports of precious metals total 6,239 tons. This already represents the third highest total on record. So why are they saying that weak investment demand comes from, where's the weak investment demand when they're talking about, imports breaking, multi-year highs? The third highest total on record ever. And even though the recent price gains may temper near-term imports, the forthcoming festive and wedding season and its associated jewelry and silver buying means it's only a matter of time before India posts new highs. So what's the weak investment demand coming from? Right? I mean, like I said, India, it's mainly used for like religious and festive purposes, and that the season's coming up, so it's bound to be even more highs, more record breaking, eclipsing 2015's record of 7,530 tons. Metals Focus added that an insatiable appetite for the physical metal has impacted global inventories. Quoting data from the London Bullion Market Association, also known as the LBMA, the analyst said that silver in London Vault dropped to its lowest level on record going back to 2016. At the same time, the COMEX vaults currently stand at 313 million ounces, the lowest level since June of 2020. That means that the COMEX and LBMA vaults are near empty. 313 million ounces is nothing when we see the global demand exceeding a billion ounces. Think about that. The lowest level since June of 2020, but when you also incorporate the LBMA, that's scary, especially since production isn't really ramping up and demand is only going to keep rising tenfold. So, anyways, despite this, or even look at this. This is even what I was just saying, right? Lowest level since June 2020. In the current environment, Metals Focus reiterated its call for silver markets to see another substantial supply deficit for 2022. So it's not like, yeah, we're at 313, but we could start catching up. We're still getting even more into the red. We're even more into the red in 2022. Despite this, silver's price has struggled in recent months. And yes, that's what I was talking about in my last video. Why is, if, the low supply, high demand, not pushing the price up? That's investment 101. Low supply, high demand pushes the price up. But that's not the case right now. But also in my last video, I went into why the manipulation won't be able to suppress the price for too much longer. What's going to happen when the COMEX gets exposed, where there's not enough physical, or I guess we could say not enough digital silver to cover or make up for the physical silver? If everyone, or when these contracts are trying to get turned into physical delivery, but there's not enough silver to deliver to that person turning in that contract, what happens? They can try to, keep it going for as long as they can, but they're at their wits' end at this point, and there's going to be a time sooner than later where the COMEX is going to collapse. Look at the LBMA and COMEX vaults already. Like they said, 313 million ounces in the COMEX. What happens when the silver shortage is exposed to that level, right? There's myths, yes, the numbers, but when we're talking about the actual digital market, the SOV, the PSOV, that could be a very, very big game changer in terms of the silver shortage and how it impacts the price of silver, more so than just what's happening right now, knowing the numbers when the numbers actually affect something in the real world. So, rising interest rates and the US dollar strength are the two most significant factors keeping investors away from silver. Metals Focus noted that real interest rates after starting the year at negative 1% rose to 1.7% in September. Unsurprisingly, this has also underpinned the dramatic gains for the dollar, which this year alone had risen on a trade-weighted basis by 19% through to late September. Although it has eased back over the past week or so, it still remains close to levels last seen in 2002. Although bond yields have also fallen from last month's highs, Metals Focus said they should remain elevated as the Federal Reserve is expected to continue to raise interest rates. While rate expectations have been trimmed, further tightening is still expected. Right? The words they use is expected. That's their goal they aim towards, but who knows, right? Both this year and going into 2023, pushing yields higher and lending further support to the dollar. We don't know if that's going to happen though. You cannot, and this is what a lot of people actually do, is they invest off their assumptions as fact. They're investing as if what they're thinking is going to happen is actually what's going to happen. And when I mention this, I'm talking about the Fed, the Federal Reserve, not because you could make the argument, well, that's what silver stackers are doing, and it's not. You can't even compare. It's not even debatable. We're talking about the Federal Reserve mentioning interest rates or rate hikes or stuff they're going to do, but you could only take that with a grain of salt. When you're putting your money into silver, you're not going off of speculation or expecting the price. You're putting your money into something that's in a time capsule. You're taking the power away from them and putting it into your own hands. There's a big difference. Gold and silver is money. When you're trying to go off of what the Federal Reserve is saying they're going to do, that is speculation. That's gambling. Investors, okay, and this is the best way to put it. Gamblers and investors are two different people. Gamblers throw money at the wall, hoping that it sticks, with the odds highly against them. Investors make strategic decisions based off information and tweak the odds into our favor. Listening to what the Fed is saying or trying to believe in the dollar or any of that, that's gambling. Highly unlikely, odds are against you. Even if it does strengthen the next year, you know the inevitable. Investors, right, make strategic decisions, strategy, silver stacking strategy, right, based off information, the information given in front of us, which we know, and that in return is tweaking the odds in our favor because we know that where the direction the dollar's headed, what gold and silver represents, especially intrinsic value. I mean, when you take $1 or let's say a $20 bill and put it into an ounce of silver, you just took the power away from them and put it in your own hands. They want you a slave to the system. When you're in debt, when you have anything, even stocks pegged to the dollar, you are at their will. You are not in control of your money. And best yet, when the dollar collapses, everything else pegged to the dollar is going down with it. It's like switching seats on the Titanic. But when you put that $20 bill into an ounce of silver and you have it in your hand, that is yours. They do not have control. You took it away from them. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. So make sure you are putting your money into something that not only holds its value, but you are in complete control of. And that's the most important part. So anyways, yeah, I thought this was a very good article to dissect. They did make some good points, and I actually think this was a very well written article for someone that is speaking the truth. And that's the thing, is this guy wasn't trying to tweak, which I thought he was going to do with, you know, the title. He didn't try to tweak anything. He just gave facts. He just spoke the facts. He even said, you know, the COMEX vaults are low, right? We can invest. This is the part I didn't really understand, but you know, he spoke facts, and the fact is that what's happening is true, and it could lead to lower prices ending the year. And that's fine with me. Some people that might not be fine with. If the markets aren't always rainbows and unicorns, I'm not going to portray it that way. A lot of people are going to try to, right? If it's looking like silver is going to be bearish or the price is going to get hurt or something along those lines, I'm still going to tell you. I'm not going to try to sit in here and tweak it and make it sound all glamorized. No, I'm a realist, and I want you guys to know what's actually going on regardless if it looks good for silver or not. Right? And that's kind of what this article did for both sides. And I respect that. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you did want to purchase silver or gold, you can get anything. Just send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. They are still one of the only few authorized dealers that can purchase from the U.S. Mint, where nobody else can, since the U.S. Mint banned everyone from buying from them publicly. Miles Franklin still can. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. They would love to hear it. They love when my audience, you know, starts building a business relationship through them, especially since they can access silver that nobody else can. When you're talking about getting silver from a direct source, that is your direct source, not these third-party sites, right? This is a company I can offer you that can be extremely beneficial for the longer term, since, you know, Andy could fill a $50 million order, finding over 900,000 eagles, when a lot of these sites can't even find a single eagle. Look at all the sites that are sold out of eagles or have pre-sales or can only sell, you know, eagles backdating to 2011 and have crazy high premiums. Miles Franklin, they can offer things that no other company can, so let them know Silver Slayer sent you. It helps me out as well. Send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Remember, I'm doing a giveaway. You don't want to miss it. I'm picking the winner either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm trying to find a special prize, another prize. I already have the prizes. Actually, Andy Scheckman, the CEO of Miles Franklin, is also donating to the winner. So you have prizes coming from him as well. But I wanted a special prize that I'm trying to get my hands on. But I don't know. Maybe, well, I'll figure it out. But regardless, the winner is going to be chosen Wednesday or Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. As always, a link to this article will be in the description. More videos coming soon today. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.